Today we're running a water load down to Virginia Beach, Virginia. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Like I said there in the open, we got a water load that we're picking up right now. Actually, we're finished loading, finishing up my stuff here, but we got a water load. We're running it down to Virginia Beach, Virginia. Right now we are in Brattingsville, Pennsylvania, right outside of Allentown, Fogelsville area. A lot of you guys have probably been here, especially if you're Smith drivers. We seem to run a lot of this water freight out of here frequently. It's a Heartland load, but you know, this is the second time I've been here at least. Anyway, so we just got our bills here in hand. Let's see, what's the weight? We got a gross weight about 44.8. Sucks pretty bad, but we're gonna go get this scaled. I gotta check out of here, but I'm gonna show you guys my process on how I do all this real quick. Like as far as my you know, I gotta send in my loaded call, and then I gotta fill out the trip sheet and the little sticker there. I'll show you guys how I do that right now. It's just my process and my routine as far as like getting to this step and, you know, getting rolling here. So let's get into it. All right, so I got all this stuff filled out here. With every load that you do here at Smith, you got to fill out what's called a trip sheet. That's this sheet here. All it is basically just your reference number, your load number, driver code, tractor number, trailer number that this is under, route, origin, city, and where it's going. The rest is just directions for transflowing and all that, but you just got to fill out what this upper part every time you do a load. You also have to fill out these little, you know, green highlighter sticker things. All I put is, I was told that you just have to put in the reference number and the trailer number. You just stick this onto your bill of lading. Once it's done, you know, it's signed, everything, you stick it to that. That way they know what's going on. But yeah, so we got this stuff filled out here. Got my bill of lading here, and you get all these numbers and stuff obviously from your Transflow app. You know, all the information for the load will come in across that. So it says, you know, Blue Triton, 405 Nessie Way, Brattingsville, and then it's going to Beach A's, Virginia Beach, our appointment times, loaded miles, empty miles, and all that stuff. So you get all that information to fill this stuff out on a Transflow app, or you can go obviously as well to your OmniTrax device, which also has all load information in it as well. Yeah, so I do that for every load that I pick up. Next, obviously, I did some trip planning. So this is where we're going. I'm going to a little truck stop down there in Laurel, Delaware. I'm taking a scenic route today because I don't actually have a fuel designation on this route because I have half a tank, so I'm good, and this load's pretty heavy, so I don't need it anyway. It's going down there, you know, in Delaware. It's right over here. I'll show you when we get there, but basically I got that trip planned out already. And reason being is that I only have 4 hours left on my 70, but I'm actually getting like 6.5 hours back after midnight tonight, so I'll be able to deliver the load tomorrow. And then once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and head to a terminal to do a 34. So yeah, now we got all this stuff filled out. I'm ready to check out of here. I'm gonna head over to a truck stop locally. I think it's on Tillman Street or whatever, and hit the CAT scale, get legal, and then we're gonna run this down there. All right, next thing you want to do is you're gonna send in your loaded macro telling Smith basically we're done loading here, we're getting ready to roll out of here. So you just have to fill out all this information, well, most of it. Bill of lading, weight, pieces, seal, drop trailer. We didn't drop a trailer, so we're just gonna tell them our current trailer number and send that over, and basically telling them that we're loaded. After you fill out your loaded call, the next thing you're gonna want to do is fill out your PTO and send that over to them as well, letting you know basically when you plan on being empty and around what time. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but you know, just a rough idea. You can send the PTA as many times as you want, or if you need to, as time allocates and allows. And after you do that, the next thing you want to do, the final thing here, is come over to your hours of service tab, hit your load tab there at the very end, and then you're going to add a new load because we got a new load underneath. And basically the only thing you have to fill out here is that load ID again, and then over here the trailer ID, the current trailer that's it's loaded on. And basically that's it. No better feeling when you're legal first try. Don't even have to slide tandems. Good deal. So now we know that. Now I know I could just roll freely. We're good to go. As long as we're under 34 on the axles and 12 up front, we are good to go. All right. So I just had a thought. So the videos I make are kind of, at least the more recent ones, talking about Smith because I'm relatively new here, are for people, geared towards people, I should say, that are like interested in learning more about this company or curious or whatever, because there seems to be a ton of interest in this company, but there wasn't just like somebody like me just like putting out videos telling you what it's like from the inside, at least that I could find. There are reviews out there, but you kind of got to remember to take them with a grain of salt type deal. A lot of folks out there have been very appreciative of the stuff I put out, the information, just being a straight shooter, just keeping it 100 and, you know, not really fluffing it all up. Really just, basically just telling it like it is. Trying to be neutral and unbiased about it, but, you know, generally speaking, I'm having a good experience over here. Anyway, I say all that to say, I'm curious as to where everybody's working right now. If you're working at a current trucking company, no matter what it is, no matter what you do, you know, flatbed, reefer, dry van, whatever, let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to see, if you're looking over here, where are you at and what's it like? You know, you're not making a ton of money, you're not making a ton of miles. Just give me kind of a little summary of like what's going on, where you're at right now, and why you're looking over here. Some of you just might be bored or, you know, just curious, like I said. You know, it's natural to have curiosity, I guess, and see what this is like over here. I'll tell you one thing, you know, Smith, pretty decent outfit from what I'm seeing so far on my end. They've been upholding and staying true to what they told me in recruiting. As far as what the recruiter told me to the reality of the situation working here, you know, it seems to be pretty accurate. But whether you're just curious or if you're actually looking to come over here, you know, let me know. In the comments down below, kind of just let me know. Let's talk about it a little bit. I always try to be, you know, going back and forth and interact with the audience, as I feel like that's pretty important. You know, the engagement aspect of it, because people like that, people enjoy that. They get a little bit more out of the video and informations or questions or whatever I can help with. The bridge that crosses over St. George's here on Highway 1 going down. I used to cross this bridge a lot. I used to take a religious, well, not religious in the sense of religion, but a religiously attended trip every single year in September from my home in Pennsylvania to Ocean City, Maryland, and I used to always cross this bridge. I used to take the same route every year, basically. Get down to Ocean City, Maryland. There was a big, huge Volkswagen event and show down in Ocean City, Maryland that was held the last week of September every single year, and I went from like 2008, I went for like 14 years straight, and then I stopped for a couple years, and I've gone a handful of times since then, but I always went down this way and always crossed this bridge. Fun fact of the day. Your boy's a huge VW enthusiast. That's what I do in my spare time, which I don't have a ton of anymore, but it was always a hobby of mine, you know, fixing and flipping cars and modifying them and doing them all up and everything.
Be in either of the two left lanes.
Always something I did in my spare time and as a hobby, and I'm definitely, even into my 30s now, still an enthusiast to this day. This route that I'm taking, definitely more of a scenic type route to get down to like the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. If you just run Highway 1 to 13 all the way down, you know, over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel, and then once you land over in that area, you definitely could run like 95, go around DC and run 95 south through Richmond and come down 64 east to get over that same way. But again, we didn't have a fuel stop designated for this trip today because this load is heavy and I had plenty of fuel to get there, so that was fine. But anyway, my point is, if anybody's never been down this Route 1, this Highway 1, it's definitely nice, dude. Definitely more scenic. In this part of Delaware, there's a lot of fields. Not in this particular area. There's like RV dealer or whatever over there, but a lot of fields and stuff, and then you get into these smaller little towns and a lot of gas stations and stuff, as you would imagine, for travelers and things. But you know, definitely more scenic than 95, and not having to deal with the aggravation is always a plus. And the traffic. Alright guys, so we have made it to the beautiful travel oases here in Laurel, Delaware. This is where we're going to be taking our break for the night. About 3 hours out probably from Virginia, but because I only have 38 minutes left on my 70, this is where we got to shut down at. So we're going to take our break here. I'm going to be getting, like I said in the beginning of the video, about 6.5 hours back or so on my 70. Run this 3 hours down there, deliver it, and after that we'll head to a terminal, shut down for our 34, and then that'll be that. Alright, so it is now the following morning. It's the 14th delivery day, and your boy is having a terrible time, at least so far, so allow me to elaborate. This load was actually scheduled to be delivered at 03:30 a.m. today, not 3:30 p.m. like I was under the impression this entire time. Heartland Smith, everybody goes under the military time application, and I already knew that, but for whatever reason, for just this entire load, I was under the impression that this was for 3:30 p.m. It's not unusual to get kind of weird, long, drawn-out delivery specific times at these places when you're dropping off, like these BJ's, Costco, Sam's Club, whatever. And, you know, it's not unusual. I've done that in the past, so I never really thought twice about it. But so your boy got in trouble this morning, and so now I'm just waiting for direction. I'm assuming they're just going to reschedule this load for, you know, they're probably getting in touch with the place, the BJ's down in Virginia Beach. And I'm assuming they're trying to, you know, see when we can reschedule this delivery. So, yeah, your boy done fucked up pretty bad. It was an honest mistake. You know, this is my first real mistake here since I've been here. So, I kind of said that in the message. They tried to call me this morning at like 7:15, but I was still in bed. And then, you know, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. Then when I got up, like a little before 8, I looked at it and I was like, fuck, realizing what had happened. So I got up, I tried to call him back immediately, you know, but, you know, she was probably on the line with somebody else. So I sent over a message on the OmniTrax and explained, you know, I was under the impression this entire time that this was for 3:30 p.m., you know, 15:30, not 03:30. It was an honest mistake, and, you know, I'll be better about this going forward. But, you know, it is a big deal, but in reality, it's not that big of a deal. These things happen all the time in trucking, and, you know, I'm probably being way more critical on myself about it. I just feel really dumb because I usually tend to not make mistakes like this, but it does happen. I feel really dumb about it, but it is what it is. It's an important learning experience. You can't really forget how you feel in this moment, you know, so you be better about it going forward, and you learn to be more, you know, just learn to be better about it. So, so yeah, now we're waiting. It is, what time is it right now? It is almost 9 a.m., you know, about 10 minutes to 9, and I'm waiting to hear back. Like I said, I'm assuming they're trying to reschedule this. They're working on it right now, I guess. I'm waiting to hear back from that, and then we'll start the day. So, yeah, we're about 3 hours away from the delivery. We're going to wait and see what happens here, and I'll give you an update as soon as I learn more. Alright, so not even 10 minutes later, after that last clip, I got a message back. She said, will you make your way down to the receiver? Like I said, I'm about 3 hours out. They're working on getting a new appointment time, but, you know, hopefully they're going to work me in sometime after lunch or whatever, I'm assuming, because, you know, that's when I'm going to get there. So we're going to get our day started here. We're going to do a pre-trip and make our way down there. And let's see what time they get us worked in, or maybe they'll just take us when we get there, or maybe not. Who knows? So we're going to find out. So I'm on my way down there, and I just had a thought. I'm still on 13. You run 13 the majority of the way down. I'm in the Eastern Shore, Southern Maryland, south of Salisbury, and it just went through Princess Anne. Just thinking about this little scenic drive we got going on here, and I made a comment in a separate video talking about some of your favorite drives, some of the more scenic, you know, less traveled areas that you've been over as truck drivers or whatever. But This is one I don't take too often. I probably took this route, you know, down and up a handful of times. It's definitely more scenic. I do like going through these like little sleepy towns and stuff as you're running 13 and all that. Anyway, tell me some of your favorite places. Have you took this drive before, or let me know some of your favorite places that you've driven through that I should make a note of, you know, look out for in the future. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so we finally made it down here to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. We just paid the toll. We're just about to enter it here. This is always a nice little waterway. If you've never seen this, this is pretty neat. If it's not already, it should be considered one of like the 9 wonders of the world. Super long stretch of bridge with a combination of tunnel at certain points. Super scenic, super nice to drive over. Speed limit's 55. I remember the last time I came across here, I've come across here a couple times. The last time I came across here was empty, and I remember the wind like blowing me all over the place. It was kind of hard to keep the truck, you know. When a gust would hit you, you would definitely feel it for sure. But this is always super nice here. You cross this little island, I believe it's called Fisherman's Island, up here, and then you cross the actual bridge tunnel over there to the right, which is always nice. Oh yeah, super scenic, definitely a nice drive here. Definitely would recommend checking out if anybody ever has the opportunity to run this route. So you cross Fisherman's Island there, and you get to this point where you get actually onto the bridge aspect of it, and it's just roadway like this. It's elevated right here at this point because I believe this is where ships pass under if they got it, barges or whatever. Super nice out. Definitely a nice view. A lot of boats out today too, people fishing. Amazing. Love it. 13'6" clearance on these tunnels, so it's definitely pretty tight. But they're coming up to the tunnel entrance up here in a little bit. I just had a thought though. I made a point about the high point of that bridge back there that we crossed, that was for like ships or whatever. Isn't that the point of the tunnel though? So maybe just like smaller ships or something? I don't know. I don't know that to be fact. Let me know down in the comments. Obviously, the tunnel aspect for vehicles to go underneath would be a lot better for ships to cross at that point instead of going under that bridge, depending on, but whatever. Anyway, we're coming into the tunnel aspect here, as you can see. 13'6" clearance, so those oversized boys can't get down in here. And coming out the other side. There's a car right there. What are you doing, guy? And more bridge. So we're in Virginia Beach now. This is where I'm at. I gotta go over this way. I don't know if you can see on my Garmin, that's where I gotta go. I gotta end up over here somewhere, but according to this is the right entrance. I did the Google Maps overhead look, that's where the doors are at, and that's the #1 thing it's suggesting to me on the Garmin, telling me that's where a lot of trucks go, so I got this right, but it's gonna be a little narrow in there. Alright, so we have arrived here at our receiver, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Just pulled up here and parked here. This parking lot's very small. Not a lot of room over here. Behind me, there are you can't even see it in the mirror, but behind me there are drop trailers and stuff, so this parking lot's pretty narrow. I gotta make my way around this pole, I guess, to try and sight into one of these doors, I'm assuming, but I'm gonna go try and check in and see what's going on. Well, some of you that know a little bit better than me are probably gonna be able to be like, well, I called it. He's fucked. Your boy's in trouble, man. So, the receiving crew for shipments like what I have, they're only here from 11 p.m. till like 8 a.m. So it is now 12:42 p.m. and you know, I just got informed by the folks inside. They're like, yeah, we don't really have anybody here until, like, you know, at the earliest, like 11 p.m. So try and check back in at that point. So yeah, we're just gonna have to hang out here in the parking lot. At least I got some friends. There's some geese hanging out in this little dirty water pond and some friends. I don't have nothing for you, bro. Sorry. So I'm a little disappointed, to say the least. I'm a little annoyed. It was a misunderstanding, and it's on me. I gotta own that, and I definitely will do that. And like I said, nobody's gonna be more critical than me on myself about it, because I feel stupid. And shit like this happens, and I should have caught that before this became an issue, but you know, it was just, you know, a lapse in judgment at the time or whatever. I just saw 3:30, and I don't know, I just assumed 3:30 p.m. not 3:30 a.m. So your boy's screwed, so he's got to sit here for like 12 hours and yeah, deliver tonight, I guess. So all right, so it is now 5:25 a.m. We just got unloaded. The guys came in at 11, but there were some other trucks and stuff they had to do before I got to this one, including the one in front of me. But yeah, he came out a little after 4, got me, because I was sleeping at that point, whatever. Came and knocked on the door, grabbed me, so I just had to move over basically 2 spots because I was in 5 over there. I moved from over here to over there to 5 because of where the sun was basically at that point in the afternoon. It was hot. But yeah, so they moved me over here to this door, got unloaded, and now it's, you know, basically 5:30, but I'm gonna upload all my paperwork. I won't bore you guys with all that. And that'll be the end of this one. So if you made it to this point in the video, please make sure to like it. Let me know that you made it this far. Questions, comments, concerns, as always, down in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one here. Don't think any of you guys probably would make a mistake like this, but it does happen, you know. Just being realistic out here, it does happen. You know, even guys like myself with years of experience, it's gonna happen. You know, just learning experience if nothing else, and we'll be better about it in the future. But if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe. I'm coming out with new stuff all the time, and I have some great stuff out already. Be sure to check out my other videos regarding Smith Transport if you're interested. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, peace.